everybody, how you doing? Welcome to the show, Traveling with Bruce. It's Bruce here with Traveling with Bruce. How are you doing? Did you have a fine weekend? Did you get some rest in? You doing all right out there? I and Jen and I, we had a wonderful weekend. We went for a little drive to British Columbia. We used to live in British Columbia. We went to sort of central. I don't even know if it's central British Columbia because it's such a huge province north to south. But we took the Trans Canada Highway from Calgary, which runs the length of Canada, by the way, the Trans Canada Highway. We took it west into British Columbia, and 6.5 hours after we left the house, we ended up near a little place known as Vernon, British Columbia, city of Vernon, booming, happening place. Kelowna, oh my God, that whole area was surrounded by lakes and mountains, and oh gosh, it's one of the most popular retirement communities in all of Western Canada. There's got to be 600,000 people out there by now, but Vernon is a small city compared to Kelowna, and my sister just lives outside of Vernon, right at the end of a lake, and she's been bugging me to come out and see her and check out her place. And so Jen and I got in the car and made plans. We committed a couple of months ago, and we went out there and spent Friday night, Saturday night with my sister and her husband, and had a wonderful time, a wonderful visit, beautiful drive, 13-hour round trip drive, gorgeous views, really spectacular. But we did it at the right time, getting the visit done this past weekend before school is out, before all the RVs are out, all the fifth wheels are out. Oh my word, this summer is going to be a traveling nightmare. I bet you that if I did this trip 3 weeks from now, it would take 8 hours, an hour and a half longer each direction, because it is just going to be jam-packed with cars. Oh, God. Anyway, we got it done, and it was a wonderful time. And we got back last night, and all is well. So we're all happy. Robert, I think I see that message of yours. I better get my act together and change that logo right now. Put that TWB logo up there. There we go. Thank you, Robert. Where would I be without you? Welcome all to the program. Like I say, I hope you're doing all right. I hope you had a good weekend and getting ready for summer enjoyment and summer travel, that type of thing. I hope that all works out for you. Thank you all for joining us. My question of the day today, I've got this poll question going. It looks like 9 of you so far have answered the question. If you got a moment, check it out and see if you can answer this for me. In my life, I have been to how many countries? And I sort of broke it down into different numbers, 1 to 5 countries, and then I did 5 to 10 and 10 to 20 and over 20 countries. How many different countries have you traveled to? And I guess if you go on a Caribbean cruise, you might do 3 or 4 different countries in a Caribbean cruise. If you're doing a Panama Canal cruise, you could probably do 6 or 7 different countries. Of course, that's if you step off the ship onto dry land, I suppose. Anyway, we now have 12 votes in here. 33% of you, a third of you, say you've been to between 1 and 5 countries. And a third of you are saying I've been between 5 and 10 countries, Uncle Bruce. I bet you some of you are going like this. You're probably thinking, oh, yeah, oh. 10 to 20 countries, 25% of you have been between 10 and 20, and it looks like maybe one person has been to over 20 countries so far. So, hey, thank you for participating. 14 now have answered the question. 36% say 1 to 5, 36% say 5 to 10, 21% are saying 10 to 20 countries, 7%, I think that's one person, over 20. And I was just thinking, am I one of those over 20s? Because Canada, USA, of course, Mexico I've done, and I've been to the Bahamas. I've been to I want to say Cayman Islands, and I'm going to say Cayman Islands because that is a UK protectorate, so I'm going to go there. I know I've been to the UK, so that automatically makes 5 automatic. Ireland, Germany, France, Spain, Portugal, Italy, Austria, Switzerland. Already at 13. Look at that. I wonder if I've been to any other countries. Europe. I'm trying to think about any other countries in Europe. Oh, Denmark and Sweden. That's 15 now. Jen and I did those. Oh, Israel. Been to Israel. 16. It's funny how they sneak up on you, isn't it? 16 countries now that I know I've been to. 16. Yeah. So, and in about in about 5 weeks from now, I fly to Japan, so that'll be 17. Then I'm going to Singapore, which will be 18. UAE, which will be 19. Then we land in Amsterdam, but I've been there before. And we're doing Switzerland. We might do Hungary, and we might do Czech Republic. So I might be at 21 by the time the summer is done. How about that? 16 votes now. Here they come. 38% of you say 5 to 10 countries. 31% of you are saying 1 to 5. 19% of you are saying I've done 10 to 20 countries in my lifetime. And 12% now are saying over 20. So that's definitely 2 at least out of 16 voters. So thank you for helping out. The thumbs up meter is rolling along. Thank you very much for hitting the thumbs up button. If you're doing the poll question, hit the thumbs up button at the same time and kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Right on. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate you. Welcome all to the show tonight. Got a little bit of news today. Found a couple of cruise deals I thought I'd share with you tonight, and I've got some trivia. So I got a little of this, a little of that, and a little of the other thing. So what the hey, why not? Welcome all to the show. Apparently, from what I understand, for some of you in the eastern part of the U.S., maybe even eastern Canada, quite warm where you are, quite hot, humid. Here in Calgary, before I came on to do this show, I was wearing a sweatshirt. I had the window open because it's only 52, 54 degrees around here in Calgary right now. We got some serious rain on the weekend, and it cooled things off. But I got to tell you, the rain, we got rain north of us, and it was really needed. So hopefully the amount of moisture that's come down has helped with these forest fires. We could certainly use more. Anyway, there you go. Thank you all for joining us today. Robert, number 2, thumbs up today for Uncle Bruce and Eddie Jen this evening. Sorry I missed the stock market show today. No problem, buddy. Sharon, number 3 tonight from a very hot and humid central New Jersey. Robert, I have a new phone, and I lost all my subscriptions. Thank God I know where you come. You come on both stock markets and TWB, so you found me. Sharon, I checked off that I've been to 10 to 20 countries, and I went over the world map several times, and I don't think I quite have hit 20 yet. I don't know if I've hit 20. Isn't that something? Robert, it's very hot here in Connecticut. It's a heat wave. Sharon, I've run organized races in 6 countries, if that counts for anything. Yeah, well, sure. Canada, U.S., Bermuda, Spain, Australia, Cuba. Sharon, we had a better than fine weekend. We were in Ocean City, Maryland with all our kids, including our daughter-in-law. Fantastic. Stephen Butler, number 4 tonight. Welcome. Donnell in the house from Cork, Ireland. Howdy, Bruce and Auntie Jen from Cork, and all here. 4 thumbs up tonight. 5 countries for me. Right on. Kirk Brunson, hi, Bruce and TWB family. Kirk, YouTube and Facebook channel here in New York. It's hot today, and tomorrow it'll hit 102. That is going to be brutal over there. Guess what, Bruce? He had the wrong logo. But we fixed that. Thank you, Robert. Stephen Butler, I have been watching videos on Las Vegas, preparing for my trip in August. It's changed a lot since I was there 20 years ago. A lot. It's not for the better either. It's not all for the better. There's been a lot of changes that haven't been necessarily so good. But you'll see for yourself when you get there. It's just not the same anymore. Donnell, what would we do without you, Robert? Double D, hey, I can't wait to see this trip. You need a sidekick, laugh out loud. I'm about ready for a 2-week notice here. Robert, yeah, I know. Sylvia at number 9. Hey, Bruce. Hi, Sylvia. Sharon, Stephen Butler, Vegas is Kevin's favorite place. Double D, oh, hell, I should have been 5 to 10. Sharon, I forgot the ABC Islands. If they each count as a separate country, then I got almost 20. I'm past it. Robert, he changed the logo. Ms. M, number 12, hello all from a beautiful Fraser Valley, British Columbia. One country, Canada, says Robert. Stephen, Sharon, from reading Kevin's books, we share a few interests, Vegas, poker, and Bermuda, just to name a few. Sharon, Stephen, oh, laugh out loud. Yes, Kevin is favorite. Vegas is Kevin's favorite happy place. And Bermuda is mine. A cruiser girl, Anne and Brent from Ancaster, Ontario. We are here. Susan R. Hey, all, number 15 here. Sylvia, it is so hot in Greensboro, North Carolina, 92 degrees, but with humidity, it feels like 102. I believe it. Eli Dan, I counted 21, but I may have forgotten one or two additional countries. Cruiser girl, Ann and Brent Ancaster, it's 45 Celsius here. It feels like that. Oh my gosh. Sylvia, Donnell, hi Donnell, how are you this evening here in North Carolina? It is so hot in North Carolina. Sharon, hey, hockey in Vegas is for the better, and in 3 years there will be Major League Baseball. That's right. Stephen Butler, Sharon, my wife is not interested in going back to Las Vegas or Bermuda. She loves Maine, Minnesota, the UK. I could get her to go back to Japan, though. Ms. M, I've gone to more than 10 countries due to cruising mostly. I've done more than 10 countries. Sylvia, Steve Bolton, not interested in Bermuda. That does not compute. Makes no sense whatsoever. Stephen Butler, my wife has been to 4 continents. I've only been to 2 continents. Now, I've only been to 2 continents myself, I think, North America and Europe. Going to be Australia next January with Jennifer, so that's a continent. I'm not planning on Africa. Oh, I forgot. I've been to Gibraltar. That's not a country, though. I've been to Gibraltar. Supposed to go to Tangiers on a cruise, but we got shifted over to Gibraltar instead, so I've not been on the African continent. Haven't been to South America yet either, so I got places to go. Donnell, hi, Sylvia. No such problem here. It was cool and overcast, but dry here today. I'm doing okay here in Cork, Ireland. There you go. Sharon, I've been to 5 continents. See, you've got to have done 20 countries if you've done 5 continents. One would think anyway, but you think USA, Canada, and then Australia. There's 3 countries and 2 continents. Done, right? You go to Argentina, and it's 1 country on a continent. Do Germany, that's a country on a continent. That you've only done 5 countries, so I can see what we're talking about. Stephen Butler, my wife has been to Asia, Europe, South America, and North America. She does love to travel. There you go. Donnell, really, Sharon? How about that? Right on. Well, where are we at now on our quiz? Let me take a look here at the results so far. Where am I? Here I am. Yeah, we have now 22 voters have answered the poll question. So 27% say they've been between 1 and 5 countries. 32% of you are saying 5 to 10 countries. 23% of you 10 to 20 countries. And 18% have said over 20 countries. And I haven't voted in the poll question because I created. So, well, how about that? That's pretty good. Looks like three or four people have been to over 20 countries so far out of 22. How about that? And the thumbs up meter chugging along. We've broken through 10. We got to 12. Now we've got 17 thumbs ups. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate that. All righty. Let's see here. Carrick says, I think I made a mistake. I might have been to 11 countries. You moved up another notch there, pal. Sharon, I've been to some places that I'm not sure are separate countries, as opposed to possessions. Bermuda, you can go either way, but it won Olympic medals, so it kind of counts as a country. That's true. Cayman Islands and, some of these Trinidad, Tobago. Well, not Trinidad. It's definitely different. Its own country. I'm thinking Turks and Caicos or Barbados and Grenada and others. Saint Martin is half Dutch, half French. St. Thomas is U.S. So there you go. Donnell, I've been to the UK, USA, France, Singapore, and New Zealand. No fibbing. Look at that. Sharon, Donnell, North America, South America, Colombia on my Panama Canal cruise, Australia, Europe, and Asia. Israel. See, I forgot Israel. I went to Israel too. See, there you go. See, there you go. Now, Israel is that Asia? I guess I've been to Asia if I've been to Israel. So, how about that? Okay. I was just thinking last night about the fact that Jen and I were in Israel, and we left Israel on the 6th of October 2 years ago, and that on the 7th, the day after, all hell broke loose when the attacks happened from Gaza into Israel, and all those people got killed and kidnapped, and you name it. It was just terrible. But what has changed in 2 years in the Mideast since we were there, and what has changed in Israel since we were there? It's unbelievable. Just to think all of what's gone on between Hamas and Hezbollah and Lebanon and Syria and Yemen and now Iran. Oh my gosh, things have really, wow. What? Whew, that was something. Anyway, there you go. Noah's here. I've been to normal cruise places in the Caribbean a lot, but haven't been to many places. Sharon, Israel is definitely in Asia. So you've got Asia, Bruce. Donnell, yes, you were so lucky to leave Israel when you did. Yeah, we couldn't believe it. We saw Nick Robertson from CNN at the Ben Gurion airport, having just got off a plane, and they were on the tarmac. He and the passengers who had just flown in from London, they were on the tarmac, and behind him, he had a kind of a camera pointed at him. He was sort of lying down on the tarmac, pointing a camera at himself. And you could see behind it, people were lying down with their hands on their heads to protect themselves, because there were rockets flying overhead. And I could also see in the background behind him, there were these metal stairs with wheels, and you would bring those to a jet, and you would bring it to the door of a jet, lock the wheels in place, and then you could walk up and get in a jet or come down back to the tarmac. And there were like 10 of them behind him, just all kind of parked over there. And that is exactly where Jen and I were. We were exactly there 24 hours earlier, getting on a plane to fly to Zurich, leaving after 3 wonderful days in Tel Aviv, visiting one of my viewers from my stock market channel. Little did we know that things would really be different. Isn't that something? Thank you all for being here today. Welcome all to the show, and welcome all to my channel today. Thank you for participating in the poll question, and also answering some thumbs ups for us. I do appreciate it. Helping the momentum of the channel. 21 thumbs ups and 22 votes now have come in. So good stuff. Let me fill you in on a little bit of news I have for you today. I kind of bring this topic up from time to time because it's become kind of an epidemic. It's now an epidemic. Countries around the world are all jumping on board this bandwagon. They're all doing the same thing. They're now beginning to charge a fee, or what we call a head tax, on every passenger on a cruise ship. So if you are on a cruise going to Barcelona, you're going to pay a head tax. If you're going to go to Venice, your ship isn't even allowed in, but if you visit Venice, you're paying a head tax. You go to Mexico starting next year, you're going to have a head tax built into your fare. Well, Greece is the latest country to now start imposing a tourist visitor tax for cruise passengers. And the head tax for Mykonos and Santorini, to give you an example, you have heard me talk about Santorini, how on one hand it is very, very beautiful. I mean, the entire area is basically part of an ancient volcano. The ships in the water are in the cauldron of what's left of the volcano. And Santorini, the village of, is on the top of a cauldron of a volcano. Well, anyway, they are going to start charging from July 1 to September 30, that July, August, September window, 20 euros a person head tax from cruise ships. You think about this, a 4,000 passenger cruise ship comes in, and these guys are going to collect $800,000. 800,000 euros, pardon me, 800,000 euros for one ship. So, you get 10 ships a week. I mean, we're talking serious $8 million in a week because of Santorini. Mykonos has its charges. I mean, unbelievable. If you're going to these places between like in October, April, May, these shoulder times before the heavy season, and just after, 12 euros a person. And the rest of the year, it's 4 euros a person. It's a minimum 4 euros no matter when you go. So even a 4,000 passenger ship at 4 euros is 32,000 euros. You will get nothing additional for that fee. You will not get a free ice cream cone or a $5 gift certificate. You're getting nothing for this. This is just a tax grab by Greece for these spots, and they're estimating 50 to 100 million euros of income to the country for doing absolutely nothing different than they're doing now. So why wouldn't other countries get in on this? Jamaica and St. Thomas, even St. Thomas, U.S. Protectorate, they're charging a head fee and so on. This is going viral. This is going everywhere. And so, unfortunately, for the innocent traveler, the tourist traveler, you fly into Europe from North America, and there are all kinds of fees tacked into your ticket charge for security fees, customs fees, and you name all the nonsense. You don't vote for a European politician. They can't fear your protest. You just pay. Then you get on a ship in Europe to go to various places, and you're getting head taxed again to these countries because you're on a cruise ship now. I mean, it is absolutely going south, and I don't see a stop to this. I don't see an end to this. I don't see anything that's going to make this go away. I guess at the end of the day, there will probably be some cruises that will not visit Santorini until the 1st of November to get down to 4 euros a passenger and offer a cheaper experience. But it's not the cruise lines paying. People think that's what it is, but it's you. Your ticket charge will be reflected. Take euros, convert it to American, that's what, $22, $24 more. 20 euros for a Canadian, that's about $30 per Canadian. To visit Santorini for 4 hours, 6 hours, $5 an hour to walk around. Just a cash grab. That's all it is. Just a cash grab. It is what it is, and it be what it be. All right. Well, thank you for joining me. I got a couple of cruise deals I wanted to tell you about today. I came across 3 different specific cruises, but 2 of them are kind of interrelated. And let me show you what I'm talking about here. Bermuda is part of the UK, not part of the Caribbean, says Sharon. Sharon, it's an island or group of islands unto itself. Donnell, one lucky punter won a cool 250 million euro in the Euro Lotto draw last week. It was sold in a Cork City shop. I'm not at all jealous. Not at all. Not me. Wow, unbelievable. Kevin Chapman says, happy to be here, Bruce. Hot here in central New Jersey. Worse tomorrow, they say. Looking into a cruise to Bermuda next year on the brand new Norwegian Aqua. Have you heard anything about this ship? The only thing I can say about this ship is I believe it is a sister ship to the new class of Norwegian ships that they've launched a few years ago. And at the moment, I cannot recall the name of that first Norwegian ship that they launched. Remember they did the Breakaway and they did the Bliss and they did all those big ships. And then they came out with a smaller version of ships, 3,200 people. I think the Aqua is one of those. But I had heard that the spa area was left a lot to be desired from what a viewer had said to me. Anyway, we'll see what's going on. Sharon says the Aqua is under consideration for us, not a done deal. And Sharon, traveling with Bruce, FYI, the subway system in Tokyo is a bit complicated. If you buy single ride passes, they only work from the station where you buy them. So if you're going around trip, you're going to have to buy tickets at each station. I think what I'll be doing is looking into a 1 week pass, but I haven't decided yet. I'm going to, whatever, figure it out. A Viva, Bruce, is that the ship you're talking about? Is it the Viva? That might be the one. And one of my viewers was on that ship, and they said, they told me that I know how important it is to you for the spas on board these cruise ships, the jacuzzis, the hot tub, the ceramic loungers, how roomy they are. The Prima and the Viva are the NCL. It might have been the Prima. I can't say for sure. Anyway, they said, wasn't that great? Stephen, Bermuda is an Atlantic island, but it is not on the continental shelf. But politically, it's tied to the UK, but geographically, it's not on the continental shelf of North America. Just in case anyone's curious about being in North America. Eleanor, the Aqua is part of the Prima class. Yes, the Prima class. Thank you. Yeah, that's what I heard about it. Now, I also will say, I remember when Norwegian made a major move. They had built a ship. I believe it was called the Joy. I'm trying to remember. This ship was designed for the Asian market, China and Asia. And it had 2 casinos on board, and it had everything in Chinese, of course, lingo and safety tips and the furnishings and stuff. That ship lasted in China and Asia for like a year, and it was $1 billion build. And they pulled that ship out of there, took it to Singapore, gutted out all the Chinese wording and put in English wording, and turned it into an English, like an Alaskan cruise ship kind of thing, and started traveling from there. I think it cost them $50 million or $100 million to convert it. And they took one of the 2 casinos out. They had 2 casinos. They took one out, only had 1 casino. But I found out that there was no dedicated spa area on this ship. I think it was the Joy. And that held me up. I was thinking at the time, this is back in 2018, that maybe we would do a group cruise on that ship. And there were deals available on that cruise ship. There were some bargains because the ship hadn't had 2 years of advanced marketing, and they were trying to set it up for Caribbean cruises in the wintertime. But it is the Joy, says Noah. And I looked at the deck plans, and there was no spa area. So now I believe since that time, it's now 7-8 years later, it's been into a major dry dock since, and I believe they may have added a spa area of some kind, but I still don't know. It's now too late for me to go on that ship. She's almost too old for me now. Sharon, our guide in Tokyo last year was not helpful with getting us the multi-day subway pass that I wanted. Isn't that interesting? And Noah says you're talking about the Joy there. So yeah, okay, there you go. Now, let me tell you about something I found today. This I found interesting. Let me show you something. Got some photos here I want to share with you. Here we go. It has to do, the first cruises I want to talk to you about has to do with this ship right here, the Mardi Gras from Carnival. Now, of course, this is the first of a kind that Carnival went ahead and built. They've now, they have the Jubilee and others that are like this ship. I think, though, they're taking out the roller coaster on this one. They're not going to have roller coasters anymore. But You can take a cruise on this ship right here from Fort Lauderdale over to Barcelona. And September the 13th is the departure date. That's at the back of the ship here. Now, of course, there are inside rooms, there are balcony rooms, and then there are additional classes of rooms that you can take. But the ship's been quite popular with sailors, folks out there, passengers. Lots of eating areas, obviously, and of course, they got your buffet there. Also, you have the various kinds of rooms, right? Balcony rooms and everything else. Anyway, I found something rather interesting about this ship and the offerings. Here's one of those corner end units with your own jacuzzi. Not bad, huh? A couple of chairs and a nice round lounger here, a couple of other loungers. Lots of room outside and inside. Anyway, I found a cruise that I believe leaves here September 13th for 2 weeks. Now, if you wanted to get a deal, look at these prices here. The Mardi Gras leaving September 13th. If you took an inside room, $509. This is now Port Canaveral to Barcelona. Ocean View 753. Balcony 801. Are you kidding me? That's a deal. And then suite is even under 100 a night. 1218. This is a pretty good deal. Here's the itinerary. Now, there's not a lot of stops, but look at the pricing. So what? You enjoy the ship for what it is. You leave Port Canaveral, and then you're at Celebration Key in the Bahamas the next day. And then you've got, from the 15th all the way to the 21st, you're at sea. Then you get to Tenerife in the Canary Islands on the 22nd of September. Then you have a sea day. Then you're in Cadiz, Spain, Malaga, a sea day, and Barcelona. Now, you're in Barcelona on the 27th of September, okay? There you go. Now, check this out. You get back on this ship again to come back on the 16th of October. So you've got 3 days in September and 16 days in October. You have 19 days, 18 days in Europe, and then you reboard this ship in Barcelona. Now, I think what they're doing is they're taking her to Cadiz for a quick dry dock. And then you go back to Port Canaveral. So you go to Malaga and Cadiz and then over to Tenerife. And then you got to sea, across the sea, back to Celebration Key in Port Canaveral. Now, check out the prices on the way back. This is October 16. The inside room, $582. Ocean View, $732. Balcony, $845. And then the suite is a little more, $700 more, $1,900. But you know what? I was looking at that going, if you took the suite on the first trip and the suite on the second trip, you're spending about $3,200 for 28 days in a suite per person. That is a good deal. That's just over $100 each per day. I think that's a sweet deal. So there's something to think about. You don't have to pay for airfare, so you're saving $700-800 a person by not flying to Europe. You've got 14 days of meals and entertainment and pools and jacuzzis and all kinds of food. 28 days of that included for $3,200. I mean, you think about a breakfast at $20 a person. That's $40 a day for breakfasts. 28 days. That's $1,000, $1,100. Then you think lunch. Well, even if you're just having burgers and fries, that's going to run with a pop or something. I mean, that's another $15 a person. That's $30 a day right there. That's another what is that? $700, $800. We're at $1,800, $1,900 already for lunch and breakfast. Dinner, lots of free choices for dining. Not you can pay for extras. But I bet you can get a $50 dinner per person included in this. That's $100 a day for you and your traveler. That's $2,800 in food there. That's dinner, $2,800. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner, combine those. That's over $4,000. You're only paying $3,200 for the whole thing. So that's a good deal. That is a fairly good price arrangement. So here again, that's the October part. The $3,300 suite you can get for $1,900. And here's the first leg, $3,400 suite you get for $1,200. I mean, I think that's a bargain. There you go. And, I know it's a Carnival ship, but if you took a suite, you'll be on the upper area. You probably have your own private pool up there. You might well be back here at the very top there. You might be in that area, blocked off from the rest of the ship, so that not quite so many people, perhaps. I don't know. I wonder. And then certain restaurants you'll have access to, certain services that'll also be included in your fare as a suite passenger in a suite, like this kind of area here. Sun deck areas in your own private deck area, maybe. I wonder. And of course, if you obviously want to upgrade a little further, you can go to this. But, just saying. Anyway, there you go. That's 2 cruises. Now, I have one more to talk to you about. By the way, I got trivia coming up, so stand by for trivia. All right, here's another ship I want to talk to you about. This is the MSC Grandiosa. It's a pretty big ship. By the way, that Mardi Gras ship, I forgot to tell you, there's the tonnage on the Mardi Gras. Built in 2020, 180,000 tons, 1,100 feet long, 137 feet wide. Capacity passenger 6,600, but if you're in a suite, you're not going to be with that many people up there. Anyway, here's this ship, the Grandiosa, and here's an overhead shot of the Grandiosa. It's a big one. She is a big ship. The Grandiosa comes in at 181,000 tons, 1,094 feet long, 141 feet wide, also 6,300 passenger capacity. And she's a beautiful vessel, of course. Here's one of the nicer units with a big balcony out there. Here's a shot of the Grand Concourse. Here's one of the indoor pool areas. So no matter what the weather, you can enjoy jacuzzis and pools and loungers. Here's an outdoor pool area. Here's the water slide area here. And then we got dining, of course, lots of dining venues, inside, outside, all around. There you go. Well, I found a cruise that starts in Genoa in Italy on November 19th. And so if you're going to do Europe the first 2 weeks of November, maybe Italy you're going to do, southern Spain, where it's still reasonably warmer. Certainly Sicily will be in the 70s and the 80s. Get to Genoa, then you go to Marseille, Barcelona, a couple of days at sea, end up in the Canary Islands, and then you've got, 5-6 days, sea days. You end up in San Juan, Puerto Rico. It's going to be 80 degrees there. St. Thomas, going to be 80 degrees. Couple of sea days, Miami and Port Canaveral. And you want to know what kind of a deal we're talking about? How about this deal here? $595 for a 17-night cruise. Inside room, $743 for the ocean view. Right above my finger here. Here's a balcony, $905 for 17 nights. Hello. That's a good deal. And then, of course, you want to go with a suite. You're talking $2,800. That's a little pricier. But $905 for the balcony, that could be okay. Lots of features to enjoy on this monster right here. Back to Port Canaveral. Great way to finish off a European 2-week trip with a 17-day crossing and enjoying all the amenities of this ship. If you're in one of those balconies up there, you got a pretty nice view. Yeah, not too shabby. Look at that big pool there in the middle of the ship. Eh? Look at that. Then at the front, there's that interior pool under the glass there. And at the back is all the other stuff going on, the water slides and pools in the back. And I thought I'd mention those for you to give you something to think about. There you go. You want to check those cruises out, go to vacationstogo.com, and you'll find them listed there. Are you ready for some trivia tonight? I got a couple of trivia questions today. See if you have an interest in that. By the way, thank you again for the thumbs ups and answering the question of the day, telling me how many countries have you been to. We got 29 thumbs ups now and 31 votes. 31 responders on this question. Look at those results. They're pretty even. Look at that. Folks who've been between 1 and 5 countries in their lifetime, 23%. 5 to 10 countries, 29% of you. 10 to 20 countries, 26% of you. And look at that. 23% of you guys have been to 20 or more countries. Doesn't that say something about the viewers of this channel? You guys are travelers. You guys are travelers. How about that? Oh, giddy up, kids. Giddy up. Welcome all. Thank you for being here today. A couple more comments coming through here. Yeah, here we go. Noah. Yeah, I was on the Joy in July last year to Bermuda. Loved it. Not sure if there was a spa. I don't remember. Miss Ann Bruce, 80,000 euros per ship of 44,000 people. Isn't that insane? 80,000 euros, and they're doing nothing different. So if they got 5 ships in one day coming to Santorini or Mykonos and Santorini, 400,000 euros going to the government for nothing new, nothing different. It's just going into the coffers. They say it's for environmentalism and all that shit, because it's shit. They're lying. What is this, Choco? Hope you're well, Big Bruce. Thank you. Sharon, yay, trivia. We're back to ugly cruise prices again. Aren't we, though? Mind you, you have to remember, though, the cruise prices I'm quoting you today, they are deals, but they do include port charges and taxes. Whereas in the past, the cruise lines could play the game of, oh, it's only $3.99 for the cruise, and then it's $150 mandatory fees and taxes and blah, 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 blah. But I don't know if it's me, but have you noticed lately that when you're looking at like a reposition cruise, there's only like 3 stops instead of like 6 or 7? Head taxes. I think they're trying to keep the price of the repositioning cruise so low that they can fill the ship up with people, because otherwise, if you go to 6 or 7 stops, you got to add a couple $100 to the fare, and that'll turn people off from repositioning cruises. They expect a super, super cheap deal. But you notice I'm not finding $5.99 and $4.99 2-week cruises anymore. Not even in repositions. Not even those. Jason Kimmons, a good evening from Lakeland, Florida. Seems to me that Carnival really wants people to start using their MasterCard. Interesting. They're doing a promo, I guess. Been a traveler, says Annie Mon, since age 7. So the 20 plus countries, yes, hence why I listen to Traveling with Bruce. Thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate it. Thank you all. I got trivia for you. Are you ready for some trivia tonight? We're talking here about, I got like 2-in-1s. I've got a couple of what we call 2-in-1 trivia questions. So let's see how you're going to do on this. So here's the deal, okay? I'm going to give you a question, and there are multiple answers to the question. Answer one answer at a time. So when you type in, 3 or 4 answers, type in an answer, send it in to me. Type another one, send it in to me. Everyone has a shot of getting a question or an answer in, and we'll see how well you do. Now, the first question I have has 10 correct answers. And I'm going to ask you to, if you wouldn't mind, naming the countries. Can you name the countries that have the most rivers in them? Countries with the most rivers. I would love to know if you could do that. Let's see if I can make this work here. I found my pencil. I couldn't find it the last couple of days. Last couple of weeks. Couldn't find it. And now I found it yesterday, and I was so proud of myself. But you know what I didn't do? I didn't do this. I didn't plug it in to my unit. So it's out of juice. So I still have to use my finger. Isn't this ridiculous? What a guy. Anyway, it'll work. I've got my finger here. It does the job. So can you tell me the 10 countries, the top 10 have the most rivers? Okay, there we go. All right, let's get on with this. Stephen Butler, the USA, in number 2, 28 rivers, 28 bona fide rivers. Now, I don't know how long they have to be. These are most major rivers in the world. So, if you thought that there might be 50 more because it's America, don't be mad at me. I'm just doing what I'm doing. Cool Jazz. What about Germany, Bruce? Let's get on with it. Germany's not in the top 10. No. We're looking for numbers of rivers, not the longest ones. The number of the most rivers, major rivers. Canada has been guessed by Sharon. Canada has 12. Looks like Canada's in 5th place. 1, 2, 3, 5th place. Brazil, Stephen Butler is wondering, fourth place, 24 major rivers, I guess, including the Amazon and a few tributaries to the Amazon. Jason had the USA. Kevin had Brazil as well. Sylvia is wondering about España. España. No, they're not in the major river department. No. Stephen Butler, China, Bruce. What about China? Number 3 in the world, 26 major rivers, including the Yangtze. Yes. Sylvia, what about Italy? Italia. No, they're not in the list either. Germany, we've done. Not on the list. Jason is thinking Russia. Yes, number 1 in the world. 36 major rivers in Russia. 36. Wow, that's a lot. Double D. A good night. Annie, France. France for major rivers? Nope. Switzerland? No. Sorry, Sir Sharon. Kevin wondering about India. Yeah, 8 major rivers in India. 8. Including the Ganges, right? They were in 6th place, just behind Canada. 8. Canada had 12. India has 8. Sharon is thinking Iceland. Major rivers? Nope, not going to work. UK, Donnell is thinking, what about, do they have major river systems or enough of them? Nope, they don't. India, we've done, and we've done it again. Finland? Nope. Norway? Nope. And Sweden? Nope. I'm going to have to give you some hints. We have 4 to go. 1 in Africa, 1 country in Africa. I believe the 3 others are South America, okay? The African country is not Egypt. And the African countries, the country itself is made up of 5 words. So, cool jazz. You got the last word. Congo, yeah. Democratic Republic of the Congo. 8 major rivers. I guess what is Victoria Falls part of this? Is the Nile part of it? I don't know if the Nile goes through the Congo. I have no idea. Stephen, hello everybody. I'm at the airport in Hawaii. Just spent the last 2 weeks in Hawaii. Visited everything it seemed. Flying home to Michigan. Right on, Stephen. Thank you for joining us tonight. Stephen Butler of the Congo. Chile, a cruiser girl is thinking, what about Chile for a South American country? Nope. Peru, Bruce, Sharon. Yes, Peru is number 8. 7 major rivers, Chile and Argentina. No, I still need 2 countries. 1 starts with the letter B and 1 starts with the letter C. And I believe Sharon has been to the country that starts with the letter C in South America, and it's not Chile. Yes. But the B country, there's a country in South America with the letter B in it. Do you know which one I'm asking you for? Here we go. Bolivia, Jason. Donnell, right on it as well. And Sharon, Colombia. I told you. Yes. Bolivia's number 9. Colombia's number 10. 7 and 6 rivers, respectively. So the top 10 countries of the world with most of the major rivers would be Russia, the USA, China, Brazil, Canada, India, Democratic Republic of the Congo, Peru, Bolivia, and Colombia. There you go. Now I want you to answer another part of this quiz. Robert is saying it's time for me to go to bed, buddy. Have a good night, buddy. We'll see you tomorrow. You take care. All right, here's your next question. Can you tell me the countries with the most lakes? With the most lakes, and we're not talking 10 or 15 or 30 or 100 or 500 lakes or 1,800 lakes or 5,000 lakes. More than 5,000 lakes, more than 8,000, more than 10,000 lakes in a country. I want those countries. What countries of the world have the most lakes? Ms. M is thinking, along with Stephen and Cruiser Girl, Canada, that little country north of the U.S. called Canada. Yes, number 1 in the world, 879,800 lakes. Wow, that's a lot of lakes up here. Jason is thinking America, number 3, 102,500. 1/8 the number of Canadian, not even 1/8. Donnell, Finland. Is Finland in this? No. Stephen is thinking the state of Minnesota. Or I'm looking for countries here, buddy. We've got the USA. Sharon, what about Russia? They got all those rivers. Does Russia have lakes? 201,000. They came in second place. Canada is number one at 879,000. Second place, Russia, 201,000. Third place, America, 102,000. So those numbers drop off quickly, don't they? Cool Jazz had Canada. Sharon is thinking Australia. It's its own continent. 11,400 lakes in Australia. There's Eleanor with Canada. A cruiser girl, Denmark. That would include Greenland, you know. Nope, not going to happen. We have Canada. Alaska's a state. USA, we've done. Sweden, Bruce. 22,600 lakes in Sweden. Yeah. Kevin, the Philippines for lakes. Nope, does not rank. India, Bruce. India. No, they've got rivers, but they don't have lakes. Not enough. Jason, Canada has a lot of lakes. Wow, that's amazing. Sweden, France. Miss Emma's wondering. Not France, sorry. Australia, we've done. China, Bruce. 23,500 in China. Yep. We got China from Cool Jazz and Sylvia. We've got Ms. M thinking Germany. No, not a lot of lakes in Germany to matter here. Brazil, 20,900. Sweden, 22,600. China, 23,800. They're very close. But Brazil is in there. They're a top 6 country. We have 3 to go. A country next door to Sweden is one of them. Kazakhstan, yeah. Number 9 is Kazakhstan. Ms. M, Italy, no. Iceland, no. Ireland, no. No can do. Sorry, Donnell. You got some lakes, but you don't have 12,000 lakes. No, I get it. It's all right. It's Switzerland, Bruce. Nope. I need a South American country and a country next door to Sweden. Here we go. Norway. Everyone's going Norway. Yes, Norway has 20,000. We have one country left in South America that has 13,600 lakes. Starts with the letter A. It's not Peru. Starts with the letter A in South America. Which one are we talking about? I know it's about to happen here. You guys are coming in with it. I'm sure you're typing like mad people. Give me the answer. What is the name of the country in South America starting with the letter A? Sharon, Argentina. Exactly. Stephen, Donnell, you all got it. 13,600 lakes. So it's Canada, Russia, USA, China, Sweden, Brazil, Norway, Argentina, Kazakhstan, and Australia for the most lakes of the world. How about that? Well, what you learn on trivia night, huh? Okay, I got another 2-for-1 quiz going on. A 2-for-1er, okay? Let's see how you do on this one. I've got to go here to get my finger ready to, there we go, finger ready. 40, there's 20 guesses, 20 answers on the first half and 20 answers coming in the second half. Can you tell me foreign-born nationals living in Canada, what countries are they from? Canada's top 20 immigrants, what countries are the top 20 living in Canada? Where are they from? Let me know. What countries are we talking about? The top 20 immigrant countries into Canada. Now, I don't know how old this quiz is. This quiz might be 10 years old, and some of you might get a bit frustrated with me because there's one country here that Ukraine is not in this list, and Ukraine would be on this list if this were today's numbers, okay? So bear with me. This is pretty accurate, though. Now, Stephen is thinking about France. They speak French in France. They speak French in Quebec. You think maybe, he might not even be thinking that. I'm thinking that. He might not. Well, anyway, there are 90,000 people in Canada from France. Yes, it's a number 18 out of 20, by the way, not even a factor, okay? Ms. M, India. Number 1. The number 1 country of immigrants to Canada, India. 547,000 of them, 8% of all immigrants, 8.1% come from India. Sharon, what about Israel, Bruce? Does Israel have are there a lot of Israelis in Canada? Not in the top 20 anyway. What about Mexico, Bruce? Are you drowning in Mexicans up there? You know what? Mexico does not make the top 20. Not even Mexico makes the top 20. Donnell, what about those dastardly Americans? All those homeless Americans that are dying to get out, and they illegally cross into Canada to hide. How about those Americans? Yes, 263,000 Americans live in Canada. One, two, three, four. Fifth place. I can tell you, I will bet you half of them are right here where I am right now in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. They are oil and gas and high tech people. They're here. Oh, yeah. We got Americans here big time. We love our American residents here. They're fantastic. What about Russia, Bruce? Have you got a lot of Russians in Canada? Russia, not in the top 20. No. Cool Jazz is wondering the Philippines. Have you got a bunch of Filipinos? We sure do. 454,000 people from the Philippines live in Canada, and they are more than welcome to be here. Scotland, are we going kind of like that? No, we're not going Scotland. We'll go United Kingdom though. We'll do that, Stephen. UK, a number 3 on the list. 537,000 folks from the United Kingdom. That includes Scotland, Northern Ireland, Wales. Yes, it does include a few. Ms. M. Germans. Have you got a lot of Germans that are German nationals? Yeah, 252,000 people from Germany live in Canada. Yeah, we have a lot here. Pakistan, Bruce. Pakistanis. Have you got? Yes, 156,000. Looks like about the top number 9 in the country for Pakistan. England, we've done the UK. All right. China, Bruce. So have you got Chinese people living in Canada? Well, we sure do. Number two country, 545,500 people. Yeah. So China is India, followed by China, followed by the United Kingdom, then the Philippines, then the USA. Those are the top 5. What about Greece? A bunch of Greeks in Canada, Bruce. Have you got a bunch of Greek people up there? Not in the top 20. There are a lot of Greek restaurants around here. UK, we've done. Pakistan, we've done. Italy, Bruce, yes. 256,000 Italians, the 6th highest. India, we've done. Nigeria, by chance? Nigeria. Nope, not in the top 20. España. Ms. M is wondering about out of Spain. Nope, no, not enough to count in the top 20. Cruiser Girl, we did India. SK, only one guess at a time. Just one guess at a time, please. We've got Sylvia, Nigeria. We've done Korea, South Korea, Donnell. South Korea. Yes, 112,000. Something like the 15th largest group. France, we've done. Jamaica, Bruce. Jamaica, man. Jamaica is 126,000. About the 12th highest. China, we've done. Philippines, we've done. Japan. Are there a lot of folks from Japan in your country? Not in the top 20. Vietnam. That's all I have to say about that. Vietnam, yes, 165,000 Vietnamese live here. We accepted a lot of boat people, just like America accepted boat people, and they have done extremely well for themselves. Very well. By the way, under the China banner, Hong Kong is a separate listing here in Canada because Canada considers people from Hong Kong to be oppressed by China, and they're allowed in on their own merits rather than just being Chinese. We have 205,000 folks from Hong Kong here. So if you add the Hong Kong population to the China population, we have 750,000. That's number 1. Just so you know. All right, moving on. What about Laos, Bruce? After the war with Vietnam and nope. Thailand. What about the Thai community, Bruce? Do you have Thai? A lot of folks from Thailand. Nope. They're not in the top 20. Somalia. Nope. What about Ireland? All those Irish guys, the folks out of Cork, all those Dubliners. Are there a bunch of people from Ireland and Canada hanging out? And the answer is no. Somalia, no. Spain, we've tried. No. Portugal, yes, 138,000 people from Portugal live here. Yes. Philippines, we've done. Pakistan, we've done. Afghanistan. Not showing Afghanistan, although if this quiz were modern day, we may have quite a number of folks from Afghanistan. Dominican Republic, nope. And Cuba, from Cuba, no. I am looking for a European country, another European country, an Asian country that you think is Middle Eastern, more Middle Eastern than Asia, to give you a hint. Been in the news a lot lately. Another European country where they're trying to keep the water from flooding the country, and a South American country that starts with a G. We don't talk about this country very often. A South American country starting with a G. Donnell, Poland for that European country. You are correct. 152,000 people from Poland here. Germany, the Netherlands, 98,000 from the Netherlands are here. Turkey, Syria, Afghanistan, Israel, Syria, and Iran. Iran is the country. 120,000 Iranians live in Canada. We have two countries left, one with the letter G from South America and one with the letter R from Europe. Okay, it's not Russia. Sweden, Lebanon, Ghana. Guyana is the South American country. I believe it's South America. 87,000, number 19. 20th place is a country out of Europe, starts with the letter R. Named after an ancient empire that used to dominate all of Europe in the era of Christ. During Christ's day, this outfit ran all of Europe. There's a country, starts with the letter R, that is named after this kingdom, this empire. You got it. Of course you got it. Donnell, Cruiser Chick, Cruiser Girl, and Ms. M, and no one's... It's Romania. It's not Russia. It's Romania. Yeah, we have 82,000 Romanians here. So the top 20 foreigners in Canada would be India, China, the UK, Philippines, America, Italy, Hong Kong, Vietnam, Pakistan, Germany, Poland, Portugal. Missed one, Sri Lanka is here with 132,000. Jamaica, Iran, South Korea, the Netherlands, France, Guyana, and Romania. If this were a today quiz, you could add Ukraine probably in the top 5. You could add Haiti in the top 10 by now. And Afghanistan. You could add a lot of Afghanis to the list. Yeah, I'm sure of it. Now, one last quiz. This is it. The last quiz of the day. Tell me the 20 nationalities that are foreign-born that live in America. And you'll be surprised at the difference between these two countries. It's amazing. Tell me the countries that have invaded America, legally or otherwise, who is living in the United States that is not U.S. born. Canadians, oh yeah, we're everywhere. We just blend in. They can't tell us apart, except when we say the word about and other words, I suppose. Well, Canada has 800,000. There's 800,000 Canadians in America. And there are 263,000 Americans in Canada. Now, you think about this. The United States has 400 million people. We make up 800,000 of them. You know, we kind of blend in. But in Canada, we have 40 million people, and we have 220-something thousand Americans, 263,000. So, you know, but you guys blend in too, unless you're flying a Confederate flag on a car. Nobody up here does that. Nobody does that up here. So it's okay. Sharon, Dominican Republic for America. Yes, Dominican Republic. Let's take a look. 957,000 Dominican Republicans. Top 9, number 9, I would say. Cuba. Cubans in America. 1.1 million Cubans live in America. Yeah, that would be the 7th largest number. Stephen is thinking Ireland. Are the Irish flooding into America still? Do they still dominate that place? If we were talking about the 1800s, Ireland would be a top 5, maybe a top 3, but not anymore. Not even in the top 20 anymore for Ireland. Guatemala, Bruce. Guatemala, 858,000 Guatemalans. Italians in America. Italians. Again, 200 years ago, they would be in the top 3, but not even in the top 20 anymore. France. Are there a lot of French people living in the United States? Not in the top 20. Norwegians, Trump would love to get Norwegians to come on over, They're such nice people. Norway does not make the top 20. No, Ireland doesn't do it. Donnell, I'm sorry. You Irish have already come. You already came with the potato famine. And now you're naturalized Americans. You run the place now. You've totally taken over. Venezuela, Bruce. Venezuela. No, again, if this were today, maybe Venezuela would count. Mexico, yes, Mexicans. 11.5 million Mexicans officially, and this is at least 10 years old. We know it's more than that. So I'm not trying to anger anybody. Haitians from Haiti, 606,000 as of this list. I'm sure it's more by now. Germany, Bruce, what about the Germans? Are there a bunch of Germans? Yes, 592,000. Now, I'll bet you if this were done in 1952, 53, 54, after the war, the number of Germans that immigrated to America would have been massive. Would have been one of the top 5, top 6, I'm sure of it. My dad immigrated to Canada from Germany, West Germany, and he was from Lithuania originally. So, yeah, a whole bunch of folks came over from Europe. Kevin is thinking China, mostly students. I'm thinking China is, let me double check now. Yes, China, excluding Hong Kong and excluding Taiwan, 1.7 million Chinese nationals. Fourth place in the United States. Now, Hong Kong does not make the list by itself. And Taiwan doesn't make the list either, just in case you guys were going to guess. What about Russia, Bruce? Do the Russians, are there a bunch of Russians in America? Well, not in the top 20. They don't crack the top 20. El Salvador, Stephen Butler's thinking, what about El Salvadorans? 1.27 million, fifth highest number as of this list here. Romania, the Romanians. Nope, Romanians don't make the top 20. They make the top 20 in Canada, but not in America. Sharon, this really shouldn't count, but Puerto Ricans, no, that doesn't count. Israelis, the Israeli contingent, they don't make the top 20. You got to have 420,000 to get the top 20, and Israel doesn't do it. The United Kingdom does make the list, though. UK, 679,000. Looks like UK is about 13th place, where in Canada, the UK is in 3rd place. South Korea, Bruce. South Korea, they are not in the top 20 in America. South Korea, though, is about 17th in Canada, by the way. China, we've done, and Brazil. Donnell, thinking about Brazil, for the United States, we don't have Brazil in the top 20. Ms. M. España, Spain, no, not in the top 20. Vietnam, oh yes, Vietnam, 1.25 million Vietnamese are in the USA. This number used to be 5 to 7 million. But you know what's happened? Since 1974, 75, 76, 77, you know what happened? That is 50 years ago. There were Vietnamese in their 30s and 40s and 50s who came over in the 70s. They died of old age when they hit 80, 85, 90, 100. They died of old age. So the number came down. They became naturalized Americans, so they don't count anymore as foreigners. But here's something else that is most interesting about the Vietnamese. They left their country after the war and they lost everything. They came to the United States with nothing and immediately went to work because many of you know personally in your hometowns in the USA, here in Canada too, how many Vietnamese restaurants opened up? How many Vietnamese people took security jobs like security guards? They took gardening jobs. They took any job. And they got those kids going in school with top grades. And the kids immediately graduated high school and college and became doctors, lawyers, dentists, accountants, you name it, right? They moved up the line. Now, grandma, grandpa who came over, you know what many of them did? They went home. back to Vietnam. Once Vietnam became a settled country, and normalized relations between the USA and Vietnam were remade, many Vietnamese went back to the Vietnam wealthy compared to what they had. They left America with a couple $100,000 and they live high on the hog in Vietnam. Not that they're showing off, they're comfortable. And so America doesn't have a Vietnam an immigration problem at all. Now think about Mexico. Think about Guatemala. Think about Latin America. If America had some kind of a work permit allowable arrangement to allow minimum wage people to come into America to get minimum wage jobs, they have to have a job before they get here. Can you imagine how many people would come and go? They wouldn't stay behind, and they would work for 5 or 10 years, move up into a better management job, get skills, and go back home. They wouldn't stay in America, but you can't talk to a politician about that. Impossible. Susan, Haiti. I think we've done Haiti, haven't we? Yes, we have. Sharon, most of these people must live in New York City. Here in North Carolina, not so many people laughing out loud. India, Bruce. India. What about India? It was number 1 country in Canada. It's number 2 in America. 1.9 million from India. Pakistan, Bruce. Pakistan for the United States. Have we done Pakistan? It is not on the top 20. I hear you, Sylvia. Sylvia Donnell. Since I moved south, not too diverse here. A lot of Mexicans. Stephen, Nicaragua, Bruce. Do the Nicaraguans make the top 20? No, they do not. The Iranians from Iran. Do we have a lot of Iranians? Not in the top 20. Ghana, not in the top 20. The Philippines, number 3. 1.8 million Filipinos. They love the American lifestyle and vice versa. South Africa, Bruce. There are South Africans moving in. Are they on this? No, they're not on the list. Not in numbers. Ukraine, not on this list, but I bet you today they'd be on the list. What about the Australians? They're dying to get out of there, aren't they? No, they're not on the list either. Cool Jazz Jamaicans do that now. Go back home to live. They make money and go back to Jamaica and live nice lifestyle. Indeed. I'm looking for a country. I'm looking for a country that is near Japan. I'm looking for by the way, we have Jamaica. I'm going to give Jamaica away, 680,000. I'm looking for a Latin American country, 1 for sure, 2 South American countries, and 1 Europe country. Kazakhstan? No, Kazakhstan. El Salvador, Bruce? No, that's not one of them. The country starts with the letter H for Latin America. Taiwan is not on here. Philippines, we've just done. Letter H for Latin America. Letter P for Europe. Letter P for South America. The letter E for South America. And the letter C for South America. Argentina, Haiti, and Poland. Poland is the EU country. 440,000 from Poland in America. So we got Poland. Honduras is 521,000 people, 16th overall. Ecuador, number 20, 420,000 from Ecuador. Colombia, that's right, 677,000 from Colombia, 15th highest. Ecuador, we have done. I think we're done. I think we got it. Peru was the last one. The letter P in South America. Peru, 426,000. So in America, your top 20 immigrant countries are Mexico, India, Philippines, China, which doesn't include Hong Kong or Taiwan, El Salvador, Vietnam, Cuba, Korea, South Korea, by the way, top 10, Dominican Republic, Guatemala, Canada, Jamaica, UK, Colombia, Haiti, Germany, Honduras, Poland, Peru, and Ecuador. Those are your top 20. And that's our trivia for tonight. We're done the trivia yet again. And that is my show tonight. Let me take a peek now at our answers to these trivia questions. The poll question, 38 people responded today for how many countries have you visited in your lifetime? 38 of you, 36 thumbs ups have come in. Thank you so much. Between 1 and 5 countries visited in your lifetime, 29%. No, make that 21%. 29% of you say you've been to 5 to 10 countries. 29% of you say you've been between 10 and 20 countries in your lifetime. And 21% of you say, I've been to over 20 countries in my lifetime. That is about 8 of you answering this question out of 38. 8 of you have been 20 or more. Very impressive. Thank you for participating. The thumbs up meter is at a mighty 36. Thank you all. If you're watching on the rerun, help us out. And we appreciate that. 37 have just come in. That is absolutely beautiful. I hope you enjoyed tonight's show, or I enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun, says Stephen. Sharon, thanks for another fun evening. Love to Jen here. Good night, Bruce, and stay cool, stay warm. Susan R. Peru. There you go, Susan. You nailed it. Donnell, great trivia, Bruce. Enjoyed the show. Time for some Z's. It's 1:15 a.m. now. We'll see you all next Monday, hopefully. Thank you, Donnell, as always. Poland from Susan and Kevin. It says Bay. Something Bay. I don't know what this means. Or does it mean, or is he saying bye? I think he's saying bye. I think that's what he's doing. Thank you all. Have a great week. We'll see you next Monday, and we'll see what we come up with then. And in the meantime, take care of everybody, and take care of yourselves, and hug someone you love a little longer this time. You never know when it's the last time. We'll see you next time. All the best to you from Jen and I here in Calgary. And we'll see you next Monday. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Bye.